us, including your owner, Rupert Murdoch, that piece of shit. Why don't you show up for us and start telling our stories? Because trust me, Rupert Murdoch may scare you, but we are way scarier than Rupert Murdoch.
My name is Carlos Álvarez-Aranyos. I'm the founder of American Opposition. In 2020, I helped oversee strategic communications for Protect Democracy in the fight to protect the election during the pandemic and under Trump. We were able to be successful in having a good election in 2020. And then last year, I co-founded the American Sunlight Project with Nina Jankowicz to protect the election against disinformation. And then in late January, after the inauguration, I got angry at the Democrats for being terrible at strategic communications, which is my job. And I decided that I was going to launch my own organization to do the work that they weren't doing and serve as a hub, a strategic hub, to provide directionality and unity to a movement.
Was that American Opposition?
And that is American Opposition. And
when was the genesis of that?
January 22nd, I think, was the first day that I decided that I might do it. I think I officially registered it on the 27th. And we made a call for a national day of protest on February 5th. That a bunch of people showed up at, and that really made it blossom. And then on President's Day, we made a call that then 5051 joined for another national day of protest. And that was really the genesis of what I see as the modern movement. Because that really brought critical mass. And then on the 4th, 5051 did a protest that we joined. That was, again, even bigger. And then on the 14th now in Jessica, they did a veterans action on the National Mall, which is I think the largest individual protest to date. And obviously now on April 5th, 5051, joined by the League of Women Voters, Indivisible, and some other groups, is hosting another national day of protest, which we are joining. I'll be speaking in Denver. But that hopefully now is looking to become really the largest so far. So it's interesting because each cycle you feel like you're gaining steam. Once a movement is moving, it is very difficult to stop when it involves the entire American people. And I'm excited to see what happens when we get rolling and how much we can roll over our opposition, just based on having so many people of good conscience involved in trying to help us out.
Billionaire loser to spend millions of dollars buying our elections. So Zero Bucks must be indicted, and we have to pressure the Attorney General and the District Attorney and everybody involved to file those charges, because no one is above the law in the United States of America.
You said you're going to be in Denver on the 5th?
I will personally be speaking at the rally in Denver at the Colorado State Capitol. I've asked Governor Polis, I saw him a few days ago, I asked him to join us. So I'm hoping he'll join us. This is a call to pressure governors to show up, because they are the other executives in our country. And I think governors are a huge part of protecting us against the worst and elevating the best practices and you know, generating action at the state level. And so I'm excited to see whether Governor Polis takes me up on the invitation, but I will be speaking there, assuming I can get my voice back. And and I'm excited to see the crowd in Denver, because Denver has been such a hub for us. Not just because I live in that area, but also because the people of Denver have really shown up. And they've set an example. I know that Bernie and AOC had their largest rally in Denver. It's a community that is really picking up the baton and running with this movement. And I'm so proud of my fellow Coloradans and everything that's going on in Denver.
Hopefully we can start seeing the same type of crowds everywhere. I mean, it just, like you said, it keeps expanding and expanding every single time. And we were here for the Veterans March. We will be back here April 5th. Do you know who is going to be speaking here?
I don't know the lineup, because I know Jessica probably will be, but because I'm not coming, I'm not as up to date, and these things change very quickly. The funny thing about this movement is you learn how quickly things develop, how quickly you organize. We, for example, are doing the biggest one of all for June 6th, which is the anniversary of D-Day.
I did hear about that. Yes.
So we made a call that the Union Veterans Council at the AFL-CIO has answered, 5051 has answered, Common Defense has answered, Vote Vets has answered. So we're going to have the largest veterans gathering in history. It's going to be March on Washington level historic.
So that's not going to be a national day. That's going to be here?
It's going to also be a national day, because 5051 is doing protests all over the country as well. They've joined. their veterans team has joined. We're all very excited about this. But it's going to be at the World War II Memorial, and I'm going to be speaking there.
Awesome.
But again, my point is that came together in 24 hours. So it's amazing how quickly these things are manifesting.
Right.
How many people of goodwill are showing up for each other.
You can just start to feel the fiery passion
it's 100%
growing like so
It's growing like crazy, and the only reason we're not aware of it is because the media isn't covering it.
Yep.
And that's why we're here today.
Fox News is not a news network. It is the propaganda arm of Donald Trump's authoritarian regime. It is the megaphone through which Trump's lies are amplified, legitimized, and injected into the bloodstream of American democracy. For years, Fox News has poisoned our public discourse, dividing families and communities with disinformation and hate. They call themselves journalists, but they are not journalists. They are mouthpieces for a dictator. They have chosen to sell out their integrity to support a monster who is deliberately destroying our republic. They legitimize Trump's lies about the 2020 election. Lies that led to the violent attack on our Capitol.
Because Fox News, not just Fox, and NBC, I mean, MSNBC is the rare exception, but everybody else needs to pick up and start telling the American story. And by the way, there is nothing more American than people getting angry and showing up for each other and rallying.
That's what this country was built on.
Literally.
Yeah.
So if this is not a story that's worth their time, then what is?
Right,
you know?
exactly.
Never mind that it has an insane cast of characters. Once you get to know the leaders behind this movement, you realize nobody was preordained to be here. They got here because they've made some serious choices about protecting this country. And frankly, we need to honor those people.
Yeah.
I want people like Jessica and others to be celebrated for what they've done, because I don't need it, but I do want them to be recognized because we have to write our history.
Exactly.
And we're writing it in real time. And so...
And that's what we're trying to do, at least. I mean, we're very small, but we come from a small corner of rural North Carolina that is a deep sea of red. And I grew up in that deep sea of red, and it was hard being in that deep sea of red and having arguments with people about why the Confederate flag that they're flying on the back of their cars is insult to me and stuff. So those are the people that I'm really trying to appeal to and trying to bring on the other side of the aisle and be like, hey, what's happening now is not normal, and it's important that everybody uses their voices against it. So I thank you for using your amazing loud voice to be against it, and for
it's going to be gone now.
well, we need it back for April 5th. Thank you so much.
Thank you for covering this. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your engagement, because I know how involved you are.
Yeah, thank you.
And we will meet each other again.
Sounds good.
But in the meantime, please cover that protest on April 5th.
Oh, we will.
That's the one they can't ignore. I say that about every one of them. And in the meantime, let's just make sure we stay safe, stay peaceful. Our power is our peace. Our power is our patience, our persistence. That's how we win. We are right, they are wrong. It is pretty simple. So we just need to show up in numbers they can't ignore. We need to overwhelm them. As Cliff says, individually we're drops, together we are the flood. So let's be a flood. Let's flood this country with love and goodness and all the things that we want. And let's find a better life, man, because honestly, this country is worth saving. It just is. It's an amazing place. I came in from the Dominican Republic for a better life, and God damn it, I'm not going to give that up. I am going to fight, and I hope everybody watching, please join us. Fight, activate yourselves. Everything, all it takes is one small decision, and you don't even have to come out and protest and feel unsafe. There are so many things you can do from home to be involved. Share these videos, share this movement, let everybody know, because it's all of us together. None of us will get thanks. I don't need thanks. When this is over, I will want to be forgotten. But in the meantime, we all have to stand together, we all have to rise up, and we all have to let these people know that we are way more powerful than they are.
Awesome. Well, thank you once again, Carlos. I really appreciate it.
You're very welcome.